Trump, the southern border, re-election 2024 or election 2024, and much more. Tonight's edition of News and Opinions starts right now. Good evening, everyone. I'm TJ Serletich. This is News and Opinion. Welcome to this Sunday night's edition. We start tonight at the southern border and looking at what's getting ready to happen with the end of Title 42. The Texas border is actually preparing, and cities along the border are getting prepared for the end of Title 42, and a surge of as many as 5,000 new migrants a day. Now, this is a pandemic-era immigration restriction that expires this week. With the end of this, it's setting in motion for plans to set up emergency housing, food, and other essentials. El Paso County Judge Richard Samantego told the Associated Press that the region, home to one of the busiest border crossings in the country, and I can attest to that, I've seen it, was coordinating housing and relocation efforts with other cities and other areas, as well as calling on the state and federal government for humanitarian help as they prepare for an onslaught of new arrivals once the public health rule Title 42 ends on Wednesday. Now, this rule has been used to try to slow down the movement across the southern border and the migrants coming in. So what we're looking at and what we're seeing now is with the end of Title 42, they're expecting a surge of the migrants coming across the southern border, actually taking the issue that we've been looking at to this point, we've been looking at very closely, especially with Secretary Mayorkas and what he's involved with and everything else. And it's actually going to turn it up a little bit in the region. It's going to make it a lot more difficult, and we're going to see a lot more of this crowding along the southern border, people coming across, and just the supplies, the area, the room, it's not there. On Mayhem Unleashed Friday night, I apologize, Jason Wilhite actually made the comment that this is very reminiscent at this point of the spring and the summer of 1980, and when Castro opened the gates of Cuba and flooded all of that straight into the United States, and we had the tent cities under the interstates and everything else to try to house these migrants and find out who's got to go where. There's also an unofficial report that's been made that I don't have a confirmation or anything yet, but there has been an unofficial report now that not only is this happening with the southern migrants that are coming up from Central America, but now these countries have decided to empty their jails out, and they're sending them up as well, as Castro did, and they're now sending them across the border. Now, mind you, I said this is unofficial, it's unconfirmed. I don't know for sure, and I'm still looking into trying to get some confirmation on this. What we're essentially running into now with the increase of the traffic that's going to come across the southern border at this point is we're going to see a clog of the immigration system. We're going to see major issues. We're not going to be able to sort out who's who, what's what, and what's going on. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a bog down on what we already have. Governor Greg Abbott in Texas has already started making moves as far as what he could do, when, how, why, and he's sending migrants out on buses and sending them to sanctuary cities. Now, by doing this, he's actually trying to alleviate the problems for his state. We've pretty well established now with his third term as governor of Texas, Governor Abbott has no desires or intentions on the White House. We could see that just by his own reactions and what he's doing. I think he would be a force to contend with if he did run, mainly because of his stance on certain issues such as illegal immigration, such as our economy, such as different things that are going on. However, I do not see him going for it. And I do see him catching some scrutiny because 3 years as the governor of Texas, of course, he's done some things in that time frame that are not popular. And without that popularity, he's not going to get the vote. And it's going to come back and blow back on him. We also have the rumor mill that Governor DeSantis in Florida is considering a potential run. Governor DeSantis, although he has done a lot, not exactly the most popular person, may not be the one to go up. On Saturday, El Paso Mayor Oscar Leeser issued a state of emergency declaration allowing the Texas border city to access additional local and state resources for building shelters and other urgently needed aid in the area. With the end of Title 42, he knows, as the rest of us do, this is going to cause a very great increase. Now, we have two different things that are going on with this situation at this time. On one side, you have the side of a little bit of logic saying, wait, we have an immigration system. We have to allow it to work. We have to allow it to work within the confines of what it's there for. And we have to allow people to come across the border, become a part of the country, and move forward on the proper terms and the laws that are in place. You have the other side of the coin, however, that is saying, oh, let them come. We'll just give them free citizenship. We give them free housing. We give them free everything. That one is the one currently that's winning. My family, of course, is, as I've made mention on this show and on other shows that I do, my family is a family of immigrants. We all came over from Europe. My great-grandmother arrived in the country in 1908. She had to go through naturalization to become an American citizen. It was done the right way. And I was born, luckily, I'm second generation. Very luckily, American. Actually, third generation American. And it's because my great-grandmother came over and did it the right way. When I see what the other party is doing, or what the other side of this issue is doing, and saying, oh, here you go, and we're doing this mainly for a reason just to boost our political numbers, what I see with that is you're taking away what my family and many other families that are out there had to do to earn the right to be called Americans and stay in this country and be a part of it. You're degrading that effort that it takes. And by doing that, that's pretty shameful, to be honest. It's pretty hurtful. Of course, as we look further into this, with the end of the Title 42 restrictions on the border and the very potential influx of illegal immigrants coming across the border, we also have Governor Abbott, again, who has committed billions of dollars of his state budget to Operation Lone Star, which is a border security effort that has included busing immigrants or migrants to sanctuary cities like New York, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and Philadelphia, and many others. And as well as the presence of state troopers and National Guard along the Texas-Mexico border. He has also continued forward with the building of the border wall. We have in Arizona, the state of Arizona is being sued now for what they did to complete their border wall. And now they're talking about tearing it back down. So like I said, we do have an uncanny precedent here. This is something that has always been an issue, at least in my memory of growing up. But as long as it's been an issue, it has never been typified into what we're looking at right now. It went from an issue to a major crisis. And that movement into the crisis line, if you talk to people who are from the area, as I do on a regular basis, they say it's a crisis. The ones that live there. I'll give you a little history lesson. I go back and I think back on my time in Las Cruces, New Mexico. When I lived there, I was very close to El Paso, Texas. There was a small window there that I lived in Anthony, Texas. So, West Texas, southern New Mexico. Beautiful area when I moved there in 2005. Beautiful area. Fell in love with it. Some of the nicest people you've ever met. Clean streets. Wonderful place to raise your kids, have a family, quiet, very, very little street violence. Street violence then was a fist fight. You really didn't see anything other than that. And in 2011, when I moved back to Illinois, things were starting to move in the opposite direction. The cartel was stepping in. We were starting to see the influx in the area of where it was becoming a problem. And then all of a sudden, after I moved back to Illinois, the whole idea of the sanctuary cities came up. And it was approved, and Las Cruces was considered a sanctuary city. I have friends in the area now, my age, younger, and some elderly, and one of my closest of friends is an elderly lady, and she has stated, for the record, where she would not have hesitated to get in her car 2 o'clock in the morning and drive to Walmart just to go get a sandwich when I lived there. 4 o'clock in the afternoon now, and she's trying to get home and have the doors locked before the sun sets. Because the people who have come across the border and have, for lack of better phrases, invaded the area, they have really taken it to another level, and they have moved it into a situation now of very high danger. Murder, drug trafficking, rape. All of these things have literally gone up in that area since I left on a major scale. The downtown area did need revitalized, but it wasn't horrible. Now it's bad. Now it's very bad, actually, from what I've been told. I have another friend of mine in the area that is a real estate broker. Very good one. And I did consider at one point purchasing property and going back many years ago. And he even told me, don't come back. Come back to visit. We'd love to see you. Don't move back here and live. Don't come back here to live. And it's a difficult scenario for me, knowing that that is a standpoint of do not return. This is a dangerous situation. El Paso has been relatively sleepy for illegal crossings for years, according to the AP. The biggest reason, and they speculate, I could give you an idea. The biggest reason, it's very difficult to cross the Rio Grande River from Juarez into El Paso without being seen. There are multiple different areas that you can cross. There's the walk across bridge. There are 4 different free driving bridges. There are toll bridges to get across. It takes a lot to try to make that happen in El Paso. The problem is when you go to the west, past Anthony, and you go up the New Mexico part of the border, or you go to the southeast and you start heading down towards Laredo and McAllen and heading down towards South Padre and all of that. When you're in the country area, that's where your massive amount of the border crossings are occurring. They're not as heavily patrolled. And then the migrants are moving in the direction of the populated areas after they're across so they can disappear. El Paso, Texas is one of the largest cities in the state of Texas. And it is also one of the key border cross areas. We're watching this closely, and it mainly goes back to a report back in November from Secretary Mayorkas of Homeland Security stating that the border was, quote unquote, 100% secure. No, it's not. We verified this multiple different times, and now we are re-verifying it again. And it's only going to get worse now with the end of Title 42. You guys that are in the chat room, you're more than welcome to chime in right now. I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. And we'll discuss it, because I'm waiting on Tyler to get off of work. And Sage currently is at a Christmas party with his family, which he gets along pretty well with his family, so I'm sure he's having a good time. I hope he remembers that we have a serious program to do tonight, and he's not drinking too much, but I know he does he does enjoy the time with his family as much as he can get. Oh, let's see. What else do we have? And we'll go to U.S. News and get a look at some of that too. Many things. We've also been reporting gradually and discussing the implementation of the Safety Act, along with many other different bills that are coming into effect as of January 1st in the state of Illinois. The state of Illinois is trying to set a precedent for a crime bill using the Safety Act as their precedent. The problem is this precedent that they are trying to set with the Safety Act is not a good one. You have many different people on both sides of this that are arguing whether or not it's going to be a good thing. Now, I've reported on this before, and I'm going to stand on it again. The Safety Act, and mainly the elimination of cash bond, its intent is to take the bond away, keep the dangerous criminals locked up, and open and get the people who are clogging the system and clogging the jails out of the jails. So if you've got somebody that's been sitting 6 months for an illegal weed charge, they're more than likely going to get kicked on out the door. Hey, go home. We'll see you in a couple of weeks for your hearing. The ones that are sitting in there for child molestation, rape, murder, manslaughter, bank robbery, take your pick. These are the ones that are supposed to be staying locked up. Now, this is going into the judge's hands, and it's being taken out of the hands of the state's attorney. Exactly. Yeah, the weed is rather harmless. I don't see why they would keep somebody locked up for that, but they are doing it. So, but they have also turned around, and what has happened with the system now, to kind of explain it, the system now works as they get locked up, they sit there for a weekend, a couple of days, they go in. Before they even see the judge, they speak with the state's attorney. The state's attorney says, this is what you're charged with. And then the state's attorney, based on that conversation, will recommend a bond, set the bond with the judge, or will say, we can release them on their own recognizance, they'll be back. And depending on the severity of the charge, is how quickly an individual that is locked up in a county jail will see the outside again. This has only worked to a certain extent, because you do have people that were accused of violent crime that were released relatively quickly, that went back and created an even more violent crime and got themselves locked back up in the can again for something that they deemed, quote unquote, worth it. If I'm going to be locked up, I want it to be worth it. You know, everybody's heard that statement. They are trying to put this all back into the hands of the judge, who it was supposed to be with in the first place. What the critics of the bill are saying is it's going to release too many people and put them on the streets. It can go one of two ways. It's going to depend on the judge that's hearing these cases. Now, you will either get, yeah, it works, Sue. You will either get the judge that goes, okay, I'm going to go ahead and allow this person to be free and not look at all the circumstances, because one of the other things that is supposed to be considered is a flight risk. According to the law, if someone is released, the police cannot pursue this individual for 48 hours after the release. One law enforcement officer in the state of Illinois made the statement that actually opens everything up for an individual to flight and leave the state, and not only leave the state, but leave the country. And to be perfectly honest, from Illinois, you can be in Mexico in a day. You can be in Canada in less. Within the time frame that it would take for a fugitive to flee the country and be in a non-extradition area, 48 hours, that's a touch much. You could have a violent offender flee the area and be in a non-extradition country in 48 hours. It is possible. Because all they have to do is get across the border, go into a major international airport across the border, book a flight, and go to a non-extradition country, and they're home free. In 420, you might be on to something there. I think the judge can say you have 48 hours to be back, or we're going to issue the manhunt. Yeah. But 48 hours is still a big window. And you can issue that manhunt, and if somebody is in a non-extradition country 48 hours later, what are you going to do? As I already stated, you could have somebody that if they think like I do, and I mean, this is just me thinking, they can leave Illinois, be in Mexico in 24 hours, be in Mexico City in 27, 28, hop a flight out of Mexico City into one of those islands in the Caribbean that is a non-extradition nation, land, build a life. Adios and vaya con Dios. And Tyler brings up a good point. Look at how long it's taken them to find out who killed the Idaho teens. That's a very good point. It takes time to make these things happen. And in that time frame, somebody that's thinking about it, they can be gone before you even know what happened. I know a guy right now that is facing some serious charges. And if he wanted to split, sell everything off, take the money, do the same thing I just described. Right into Mexico City, hop a flight, he's in Cabo. Bora Bora. Anywhere. You could be anywhere. Right out of there. International flight, new identification upon arrival in Mexico City. Buy it from the cartel. Boom, here you go. Here's your whatever. And here's your 100,000 pesos. And see ya. It's insane. That's how quickly this can occur. The Safety Act was built and designed as a way to take the stress off of county jails. In effect, it's going to do exactly that. Very little. Very little. You can live pretty much anywhere outside of the United States. There's a couple places you really need to work, but most places you can be outside the United States and have a very, very comfortable living. And all you have to do is look for nations that do not have diplomatic relations or extradition set up with the United States, and you're pretty well home free. Brazil will grant an extradition. We have good relations with Brazil. Colombia, on the other hand, you know how to shut your mouth and lay low. Hell, you can have a good living in Colombia. Mexico is not expensive to live in at all. Here, I'll look up the current exchange rate between the U.S. dollar and the Mexican peso to give you an idea. There we go. So, 1980 pesos. Basically 19 pesos and 80 cents is $1 US. So you think about that. Let me get a converter up here. At the current exchange rate, let's say you go there with $50,000. You are going to be sitting on 989,000 Mexican pesos.
Boy, I tell you, if I can live in Illinois, I can live in Mexico.
Well, here, I'll tell you, let's go a little bit further, all right? Let's say you got $150,000.
Uh-huh.
If you got $150,000, you get into Mexico, you're looking at 2 million pesos.
I'm moving to Mexico.
You're sitting on 2 million pesos.
Change my name to Tyronios Pelcinios Tatalia.
That's Italian.
Close enough. 2 million pesos. Who's going to argue against?
Susan would.
She'll be Susiano dos Trocinia Mexicano.
Good Lord. How many years would that equate to? Well, 420, quite a few, actually. There was a point in time where a friend of mine and I were looking at renting beach houses in Puerto Vallarta. I love Puerto Vallarta. It's a beautiful area. And we were looking at renting beach houses there. We could rent a beach house for $100 a year on a 20-year lease. Everything included. Running water, trash pickup, electricity, everything included.
How much a year?
$100 a year.
So $100 a year in Mexico, right?
Right. Well, $100 US a year.
And it costs $100 to practically get groceries now.
Right.
Dude, I'll own that country.
Many have tried. The cartel has succeeded.
See, that's the problem.
It actually brings me back to my point when I started the program tonight, looking at the border control situation. Now we're gonna typify that with the Safety Act going into effect on January 1st, and the elimination of cash bail.
Yep.
And then you're going to throw in a 48-hour window.
And it's like I said in the chat, look at how long it took them for police to find the guy who killed those teens in Idaho.
Yeah, correct.
They're not going to find that guy.
No, I'm not arguing that. You're absolutely correct. But what I'm getting at is look at these situations right now and keep in mind that this is going both ways on multiple different levels. Because you have people from this country that are flying out of here left, right, and center to get out. And they're going to a place like Mexico.
Hell, you might end up having everybody in Mexico just swap places with everybody in America.
Well, you have people in Mexico that are now. Here's where a lot of people have gotten really smart. You have people in Mexico that work on the United States side of the border, and they live in Mexico.
They must make the good money.
So they make their money on this side of the border, and then they drive across and go home. Let me bring up my map here and see if I remember right. I've got to look at where Palomas is at. Because I believe
just strikes
Palomas
me as weird that at $100 you can have that place for a year, but $100 can barely buy you enough groceries here in America. It goes to show you how bad this country's gotten financially. When a third world country, you can buy a house or rent it out for cheap, but the same money if you were here in America, like my house payment's about $800 a month. Me and Susan's is $800 a month. Imagine I could have probably bought the house outright for less in Mexico.
Oh, probably. I'm not arguing that at all.
I could have even bought a nice strip of land, got a farm, got all my guns there, and be like, hey, come down to the border. Let's go have some fun.
So, wait, I know one person right now that lives in Palomas, Mexico. Okay?
Right.
Drives across the border every day and takes a half-hour drive up to Columbus, New Mexico. And
so
works.
He's right there.
Yeah, works. Makes his paycheck and then drives back to Palomas in the evening.
What does he do for a living?
He's a mechanic at one of the local car dealerships.
Wow.
But he makes his money and then drives back to Palomas.
Okay, so now how does do they pay him in dollars or they pay him in, it's Mexican currency's pesos, right?
Correct. No, he makes his money on the United States dollar, pays his taxes on it here.
Okay.
And then he takes it back across the border and converts it using his bank. And he lives in one of the upscale neighborhoods on the outside of Palomas.
So a mechanic here, my father is a mechanic.
Okay.
And he lives in like a 2-story, 4-bedroom house that up until 2006, 2007 was falling apart. And he finally buckled down, took out a loan from the bank to fix it up. Now it's pretty nice. But for years, he could barely keep up with the payments on it. He and my mother. My mother had to get a part-time job. This guy is doing the exact same thing, but when he goes over to Mexico, he's got more money. He lives in a nice little area of Mexico, nice little corner, no real problems or whatnot.
Correct.
That just goes to show you how screwed up it is.
Now, and don't get me wrong, he's a United States citizen, but he also naturalized and became a Mexican citizen. So he holds dual citizenship.
That's the way to go.
So, and his wife speaks fluent Spanish. He don't speak a word of it. But his wife speaks fluent Spanish. And he moved into a very upscale neighborhood in Palomas. And, you know, I think he told me that what they bought there. No, I take it back. I've seen the place once. I've actually been over there and I've seen the place once. And it's a beautiful home.
Wow, gas is $2.95. Dang.
8 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, indoor pool and hot tub, kitchen that's the size of my house.
For being a mechanic.
4-car garage. He paid it off in 3 years.
So
because he lives on the Mexican economy. So when he goes back across into Mexico, they convert his money. He's basically getting triple the money to live in Mexico.
Why would people want to leave Mexico? I don't understand that.
Because the United States has been known for years as the melting pot. This has always been the land of opportunity, the melting pot. Someone who has a trade like that, they have the best shot of doing something and being able to live outside of the Mexican economy. And I mean, great for them. But it's difficult at best for people to be able to do that. And a lot of people can't. If I had somebody that could translate for me, I probably would have done the same thing when I lived there, and I would have been living in Mexico, to be honest. But I never had anyone that I could trust to live with me across the border and help me keep my money.
That's just downright insane.
420 says it right there. If he could keep his SSDI, he could live very comfortably in Mexico. And he's not lying. He could. He very well could. I don't speak Spanish. That was my hang-up.
No habla español?
My español is shaky-o.
Well, we did learn the other night on Mayhem, there's one word you don't want to say, and I paid for it. Thanks, Will Height.
I'm fluent in tequila. I mean, if that counts as anything.
Just because you drink their water does not mean you speak Spanish.
I said I'm fluent in tequila, not Spanish.
Like I said, just because you drink their water doesn't mean that you're fluent in it.
420 says if he can order food and beer, he'll be fine. Well, 420, they don't have hams in Mexico. So you're not getting that. You're not getting that cerveza.
All right, well, I'm pulling in, so I'll hop on in my studio here in a minute.
Oh, thank God.
After I just busted open a soda, damn it.
Oh, cry me a river. 420 is like taco, burrito. I could say Dos Equis. He does make a valid point. Dos Equis is a good one. But there are multiple people that they do. They live on the Mexican side of the border, and then they choose to work in the United States. So when you look at like McAllen and Reynoso, that's a good area that gives you an idea. That's another one that's a major border crossing. You have people that live on they live on the Mexican side of the border. They work on the American side, and then a lot of them get the dual citizenship and are able to do that. Let's see. There's another one that I was looking at real close, actually. Brownsville, Texas, and Matamoros is another popular one. And then you get down by South Padre, and you have a little bit more like a little bit more of, I would say, your touristy area. But there's a lot of people that do that. So when you look at that and then you start looking further into Mexico, from, say, crossing at South Padre, then you could be in Mexico City, pretty much another day trip, and you're there. And bingo, that's what you got. The Safety Act is actually making this a possibility. And then if somebody's smart about it and they do it right, they could get that new identity in Mexico and then go back up to one of these border towns and do exactly the same thing and live on the other side and live in Mexico and go under that assumed green card and have a work visa and work in the United States and take the money back over the border. They got a nice way to live. I have a friend of mine that she and I have known each other for a long time. My friend Meg said that they would throw me out of Mexico because I would try to drink the country dry. I think she might be on to something. However, the fact is, these are things that we're now looking at. We're now seeing. We're seeing the influx of the migrants trying to come this direction, but we're going to see a lot of people starting to head the other way to just get out of hot water. This crisis at the border is not even close to contained. Unlike what was stated by Secretary Mayorkas quite a while ago. I love how I tell Tyler, please keep the show serious. And evidently, he must have heard that. I'm like, please keep this one serious. And no, he can't do that. That's not available in his mind working here.
Buenos dias, senor.
Well, you just screwed that completely up.
How did I screw it up?
Buenos noches.
It's buenos dias.
Buenos noches.
Madre de Dios.
Come again.
Well, I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. But I'm going to move there.
You're going to move there, huh?
Yeah.
So what, you're going to work at Reynolds and then just drive home every night to Mexico?
No, I'll just go work, be a mechanic or something.
Irene says she'd get by just fine in Mexico.
No, they throw her back.
Think they'd throw her back?
I think they'd throw her back out. Yeah, she no.
What do you think? They'd call her the country killer and throw her out or something?
Hang on a sec. I got a word I could say, but I'm going to Google it and make sure I get it correct. If my computer will work with
you. You can't swear in another language either.
I'm not going to swear in another language. If my freaking computer can work. It said it won't speak complete garbage tonight, apparently.
Yeah, and I've got to go to work tomorrow, then come back, and then I've got to go over to your place and go hook up everything in your studio and then make it back here.
Ooh. Gonna be a cold one.
Yeah, that's why I'm going down and getting the truck started tonight. I'm going to stay the night tonight in the truck and get it warmed up. I'm going to cut everything out here, shut it all down, save on some bills for at least a day. I got a freebie day.
Irene's gonna show up and they're gonna throw her back across the border and they're gonna say, "She loco in the cabeza."
Well, she's throwing Spanish at you, Tyler.
Okay, I just I don't want to highlight her to show it. I just want to copy what she said. Lo si estio. Why do I feel like she's cursing at me in Spanish?
She probably is.
And it is Irene, after all.
You probably needed it too.
Why do I need it?
All right. So as this border situation starts to heat up, Texas and Mexico cities are strained getting ready for the migrant surge. Holy crap, I'm already 50 minutes into the show and I did most of it by myself. Huh.
Where's Sage? Oh, he's got the Christmas stuff.
Sage is doing Christmas with his family tonight. So they're already strained and they're begging for more. And the only one stepping up to help, Governor Abbott, saying, let's ship them out. Let's send them with the people that said they wanted them.
Yep.
And I got it, again, I applaud Governor Abbott for that one.
If it is true that you say about what? That's what she said? Okay. I think it's funny how the country's being ran, or Texas itself is being ran better by, the whole country's being helped better by the governor of Texas who's in a wheelchair than the president who has no idea where he's at right now.
Oh, but now he's trying to come out and say that this has all been an act.
Who, Biden?
Yes.
You lied. 420, that I just translated that. That's bull crap.
Okay. So the House Investigation Committee is finally coming up to its final public presentation on Monday about what they're going to call. And they are saying that it was an unprecedented effort by President Donald Trump to overturn the results of the presidential election he lost in 2020.
Okay.
The committee has now called it an attempted coup that warrants criminal prosecution from the Justice Department.
All right.
Now, if it goes forward with that, until it is settled, former President Trump would have to withdraw his candidacy for presidency.
So if all this comes through with the House, he's gonna have to withdraw his candidacy.
Correct. Because he will be facing federal felony charges.
I got a feeling that's exactly what they're going to do because, I mean, let's be honest. They don't even want Trump anywhere near or even hinting at the idea of a re-election. I got a feeling they'll do it just to shut him down.
Representative Bernie Thompson, who is the head of the committee's chairman, has said that the referrals may include criminal, ethics violations, legal misconduct, and campaign finance violations. Lawmakers have suggested in particular that their recommended charges against President Trump could include conspiracy to defraud the United States, obstruction of an official proceeding of the Congress, and inciting an insurrection. Representative Adam Schiff of California,
of course,
said today that he believes Trump committed multiple crimes. And he told CNN's State of the Union, this is someone who in multiple ways tried to pressure state officials to find votes that didn't exist. This is someone who tried to interfere with a joint session, even inciting a mob to attack the Capitol. If that's not criminal, then I don't know what is. Representative Jamie Raskin of Maryland last week said that the committee's actions will focus on key players, whether there is sufficient and abundant enough evidence that they committed a crime.
And if the committee agrees that, yes, he committed a crime, then he's got to withdraw from the election. I got a feeling they're going to say it anyways just to get him out. They're going to say it.
I think they will. And I think that what we've seen the Democrats do over the last couple of weeks, that sets a very, very dangerous precedent for them.
The Democrats have done a lot of dangerous precedents. I mean, for 4 years, we heard investigation this, investigation that, We heard about, the impeachment on Ukraine, the impeachment on all this. The Democrats have really pushed the envelope when it comes to trying to throw a president out. They, in my opinion, they weaponized the impeachment proceedings. They weaponized that. So now you're going to have this big blowback that if you don't like a president that much, just impeach him, But at the same time, you've got Biden, who they're looking at as their saint and angel because of the simple fact that he's a Democrat. But the guy's literally got a lot of glaring problems himself. I mean, when Trump was impeached for a quid pro quo, Biden on the campaign trail literally said, yeah, I quid pro quo'd Ukraine too to protect my son.
Yeah. And that has been overlooked. And it's being overlooked in the eyes of public perception. Who is the nice guy? Well, Trump never came in to be the nice guy. He came in to be president. And that is something that a lot of people in this country have forgotten.
Yeah.
You cannot hold a position of power without holding some great responsibility that goes with it.
Oh, I didn't like Trump. He was too mean. Yeah, well, you voted for the nice guy. Now it's costing us an arm and a leg. Good job.
You also have a fight starting now in the House as to who is going to take the job of Speaker of the House.
That's a close one too.
Kevin McCarthy has been the one eyeballing that seat for a while now. But he's looking like he may not get it on the first round vote.
I don't think he will, to be honest with you. Who's running against him? It's Kevin McCarthy. Let's see here. Let me look this up. I know Kevin McCarthy's running, but I think somebody else was running too.
Now, McCarthy still remains allied to Donald Trump, and I think that's a big problem that the party has right now looking at McCarthy, because he is so in line with Donald Trump. Now, if this whole blowback from January 6th comes back and it somehow implicates and ropes McCarthy in with it, then you got to remove him from Speaker of the House anyway.
Yeah, he won't be there that long either.
And that's not going to work out real well.
Well, right now it looks like he's running unopposed for the Republican ticket. On the Democratic ticket, the current leader of the House right now, who's replaced the current leader, well, not the
it's Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries launched his bid to replace Pelosi as top House Democrat.
And he's got it. I mean, the Democrats came out united on the new young guns that are walking in.
Yeah.
And all of the new leadership on the Democrat side, on the minority side now, have all said they are behind these younger guys coming in because they got a lot of great ideas and they want them to go to work. And the first thing all of them have said is, we are ready to step across the aisle and go to work with the Republican side of the House. We have to get this House back together to make it work.
Which is good. We need that. We need bipartisan, not, pretend partisan like some of these Democrats and Republicans were pushing for a few years.
Now, the problem that we're going to run into with McCarthy is he's still very much on that Trump side of things. And with him being on that Trump train, the problem that we're going to run into is trying to reel him out of that and go back to being a bipartisan lawmaker and working across the aisle.
Right.
That's going to be the battle.
I don't know. I think, I think it's going to end up being one of those things where they are going to rule about Trump. He may get the nomination, but he won't be able to take the seat because he, like you said, he does have ties to Trump, and that's going to cause problems. So I'm just surprised that, like, we're this close to them making that determination. I'm surprised they don't have like a backup person. The Republicans haven't voted a backup person or something like that.
Very good. Very good point. Fred Upton, who is retiring, recalled when Newt Gingrich, Speaker of the House of Georgia, dropped out of the race in 1998 when he did not have the votes, and cautioned McCarthy against backing down. Upton said, "My advice to you, Kevin, is you got to go to the finish line. You can't fold the cards. You've got to make these votes vote. Or you got to make these folks vote and vote."
I don't know. How do you feel about McCarthy?
I'm mixed because that alignment with Trump is, again, we're going back to a bad precedent that we saw in the midterms. If Trump would have kept his nose out of it and let these guys run, and not been backing whoever he wanted to back, then I think we would have seen a larger red wave in both the House and the Senate. But the red tsunami did not occur. We got a little red splash by the House being taken. The Senate is now in a tossed up 50-50 again.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in a historical nightmare as far as the Congress goes. It's been a long time since this country has dealt with something this sideways.
Sideways doesn't even feel like it explains it best. It's just a straight mess, in my opinion.
Very true. Now, what we're looking at is with the divided leadership in Congress, and then you add to that the fact that the White House does not have the backing that they should. We have a historical conundrum here. And it's a matter of trying to figure out how is it going to fall and how's it going to unfold. Because if things don't go exactly right, Dawson had a Christmas parade and you guys took the kids to that, huh, Becky?
I'll be right back.
If they don't get this under control at the right time, then what we're going to run into is we're going to see a divided country for even longer. Now, the new Democratic leadership is stepping up saying we need to end this and end it now. They have a reason. Because the last time the country was divided this far, a civil war started. We're on the breaking point of that now. Santa was riding in a trailer, sitting on a recliner. Oh, God, that would have been funny. That would have been funny. If I was feeling just a little bit better, I probably would have been out today a little bit more. I actually just got over a really bad sickness that I had most of the week last week. I was fighting it real hard. And as of Thursday night, I had broke 102 fever that I'd had for 2 days. And I'd been fighting that for quite a while. Now I finally at least feel a little bit better, thank God. But after fighting all that, it's been a little bit getting back up and running again.
There is a nasty RSV virus going around. It's
That
bad.
may have been what it was. I don't know. So we are looking at a president here that could really come back and cause a major problem, not only for the Republican side of the chamber, but we're also looking at the Democrat side now. They're shoring up, even though the White House is failing them, and the previous Congress has already failed them.
Mm-hmm.
They're still trying to shore it back up. This is a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous zone we're sitting in right now.
Yeah. And the thing about the midterms was, I think everybody kind of was hoping for a red wave because it would have made things better. But the problem is that it didn't go the way we wanted it. And the big thing about it is that now that's midterm has caused just one thing in Washington. That's uncertainty. You have, it's literally a mirror image of what we just had for the past 2 years. The Democrats splintered off into different factions. You had your liberals, you had your moderates and all that stuff. Now you got the Republicans doing the exact same thing. They're splintering off as well. You got your Trump supporter Republicans, you have your moderate Republicans. It's like both parties just decided, hey, let's just split up from these people because they want this or that. And I think because of that big rift they've created for themselves, the only thing we're going to get is jack squat because they're not going to get anything done. I don't see Biden working with Republicans, but then again, I see some of these Republicans not even wanting to work with their own people.
That's very true.
Look at how many Democrats have walked away from their party. They're talking like what? Joe Manchin might go independent because of what's been going on.
Manchin actually made an announcement earlier today that no, he is not going independent. He is going to stay Democrat.
Well, okay, he's going down with the sinking ship. Good for him.
Why don't you go ahead and carry that a little bit because I need to go use the bathroom.
Okay. But we're seeing, like, for example, during the midterms, Democrats won the Senate. Well, they don't got the Senate now because of the fact that I think the Arizona senator said she'd had enough and went independent. You have a very famous Democrat by the name of Tulsi Gabbard, who was a moderate who wanted to work with other Republicans and Democrats. She left the party because of how she said, quote, it was liberally tainted. Now, my big concern going into this next year with 2023, obviously we're going to start hearing more and more people announce their presidency, their bids for it. My big problem is, are we going to see a mirror image with the Republican Party splintering off? And are you going to see Republicans also leave the party and go independent? Or are they actually going to work together? They seem to have a battle plan. They want to investigate Joe Biden, investigate Hunter Biden. They want to impeach Mayorkas for the border. Or are they going to drop the ball and basically give us the exact same thing we've had for 2 years while the Democrats were in control? In my opinion, yes and no. They're united on the idea that, yeah, they want to investigate Biden. They want to investigate Hunter. I'm pretty sure we're losing Mayorkas. That's probably going to happen. But here's the big thing. Will they get anything else done? Is that all they're going to do? Okay. Is that all they want to push for? Because there's more important things in the country right now. I mean, there's more important things in the country than, how can we do to Biden what they did to Trump? You got the energy situation, you got the border, you got the war in Ukraine, you have, the inflation is at an all-time high, regardless on what our president wants to say. There's a lot that needs done in this country. We've got literally 2 years. For 2 years, we've had nothing but slacking. And we don't need another 2 years of slacking from the Republicans. We actually need them to do something. And
it was almost like when the Republicans lost the midterms in 2018. it's almost like they pretty much shit the bed.
It was. It really was.
And then Democrats got everything.
In
In 2020, they got everything.
Yep.
And literally walked in the door, and inside of 72 hours, crapped on every piece of progress that was made over the previous 4 years.
Yep.
One,
The Keystone Pipeline.
yeah, that would be a great example. Becky, I mean, the Constitution is set up the way it is for a reason. I would like to see oversight on executive orders for starters.
The man has wrote more executive orders than I think any other president. I actually want to look this up.
Yeah, go ahead and look it up.
Because I know he signed a whole bunch.
But yeah, I would like to see some oversight limiting the executive orders.
All right, so Trump issued 894 executive actions, of which 222 were executive orders. Now I'm going to look up Biden. Okay, now he's only been in 2 years.
I don't know, Becky, honestly, because we have evidence where he is mentally compromised.
Biden has done 369 executive actions and 105 executive orders. And that's in 2 years. He's almost, so by 2024, if he keeps the pace he's going, he's going to match Trump's. Now, who's got the highest?
Probably President Obama.
Well, I'm looking right now here. Total orders. Let's see. Woodrow Wilson. Oh, Franklin Delano Roosevelt had 3,721. That's the highest so far. I'm seeing. That's Franklin Roosevelt. And I'll guarantee you a majority of that was World War II.
Well, yeah, but I mean, also take into consideration that FDR is he is the only president who was ever elected to 4 terms.
Yep. Theodore Roosevelt had 1,081. Calvin Coolidge, 1,203. All right, let's go down here. Who's been... Okay. Barack Obama did 276. First term, 147. Second term, 129.
Mm-hmm.
George W. Bush did 291 executive orders. First term was 173. Second term was 118. Bill Clinton did 364, 200 on his first term, and 164 on his second term. And after that, rounding out the list would be Ronald Reagan himself, the Gripper, 213 on his first term and 168 on his second term.
What did you just call him?
The Gripper, wasn't that his nickname?
The Gipper.
The Gippers. Well, hey, I'm running on 4 hours of sleep. Give me a break.
I'm still coming off of a fever.
At least you slept.
The Gipper.
The Gipper.
Oh, crap, I got 1 cigarette left, too. The Gipper.
Oh, well, I got it wrong. Big deal. Whoops.
Which is a baseball term. Don't worry, we'll catch you up on Gen X terminology soon enough.
Shut up, Pat 420. Just remember, I'm running mayhem here after a while, even though I'm going to be on night shift. I may just pick on you the same way you all pick on me.
Remember, I do have to come back.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Oh, okay. Because I come back or I nuke the network.
Do you?
You don't have control over my credit card. And that's what pays for it.
Well, what your girlfriend does.
No, she don't.
Not yet.
She never will.
Take these boots off.
Cause I mean, you've been firing out shots lately about how you could do it all better than me anyway.
I am not fired out any shots about how I can do it better than you. I'm probably gonna suck, to be honest with you. But then again, I can't be any bad as a former co-host of the show.
No, God, no. You do that, I'll fire you, and I'll make Sage do it next time I take a break.
It's gonna be conspiracies unleashed. Yeah, Becky, that's what's gonna be. I'm gonna be hosting the show, trying to be serious, and all it's gonna be is just people.
Tyler is going to be taking over News and Opinion and Mayhem Unleashed while I'm getting my move done and getting settled in Texas.
Yeah.
We all know an interstate move is not an easy move for anyone under the best of circumstances. Mine is going to be a royal thorn in the backside.
Especially since you got to go over the spider web, too.
No, I don't. I know my way around that.
Oh, you don't have to go over that?
Oh,
Okay.
I'm not going near the web. I am not going near the web. I am going around that thing. I'm not even going to look at it, and then I'm heading straight to 281 and see you later. But no, I have a multitude of issues I need to put out once I get back and get things taken care of. And I've got a bunch of stuff I need to get done here where I really need help. I need some help here at the house in Illinois getting this stuff settled out. This is going to be, until next year, this is my last week of broadcasting until I'm set up in Texas.
Yeah.
So this is my last News and Opinion I'm going to host until I'm set up in Texas. And I'm hosting Mayhem both Wednesday and Friday night. And that's it. Because starting Saturday, I start tearing the studio down. Tyler and the gang, they're all going to take a break. And they're not going to start everything back up until after the 1st.
Right.
I want them all to have a break, to have time with their families. And if possible, come help me. Because I really need the help here. I really do need the help here. Because I've got so much crap I've got to go through. And one of the things I'm going to need is somebody who wants to play with fire.
I do like fire.
And be willing to burn things.
I do like burning things. Well, I'm not happy with you anyways because you decided you're going to move at the end of December, January. You had to choose one of the coldest months in Illinois, and you're like, somebody come help me move, please help me. Or no, I got to talk.
Dude, I have been asking, and I've had plenty of people say they're going to be here to help me load.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm asking. I'm asking for the help to load the truck. There are 3 things that need to be loaded that are going to be a gigantic pain in the ass to get on that truck.
Your bed, the dresser, and the bikes.
Both motorcycles and my toolbox.
That reminds me.
Those have got to go. They are required down there.
That reminds me. I need to figure out when I can come down and get that desk and table.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that I need help down here getting that prepped. I'm about halfway to it. It's been busy around here with me being sick. That set me back a week. I was supposed to be halfway through most of this last week.
So, has anybody even said they'll help you move yet?
You said you would be here to help me load.
Yeah.
I had a couple of friends that were going to be here. I need to confirm with the one. The other one is obviously not welcome here right now.
Private message me who that is.
Give me a second here. I got to find your name again. Who are you?
I am El Tyler Esteban,
Bull.
future citizen of Mexico. My favorite cartoon character was Daffy Duck.
420 said he would come here and drink all of my beer.
Is that really helping, though?
Well, lightens the load a little bit.
And I don't know. I mean, can 420 even help you move? Because he doesn't.
I mean, well, there's going to be like boxes with DVDs and stuff in them.
Uh-huh.
My bed, my dresser, the recliners, my electronics are going in the car. Some different wall hangings that I've got here that I've had for years that are going. My microwave, my coffee table, yes.
Those guys, okay.
I mean, I'm not loading the entire house. But my bed, my son's bed, my dresser, his bureau, the electronics, most everything is going to be boxes and clothes and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The heavy stuff, the heaviest of it are the 2 motorcycles, my toolbox, and the beds can even go between the motorcycles and the walls and whatnot in the toolbox to get it all in there. And then we could stack and Tetris and load and get it all in, and I'm ready to go.
I hate Tetris.
But I've got a 16-foot truck, and I've got the trailer for carrying my car. When I roll out of here, and my plan is to load it up, lock it up, and then I'm out of here that day on the 2nd of January, and that thing's taking a nonstop trip to Texas. I may stop for a couple hours and take a nap because it is going to be a bigger machine than me driving my car down. If I'm in my car, screw it, I'm going straight through.
Where's your car gonna be?
On the trailer.
Okay.
My car is going on the trailer and it's getting strapped down on the trailer. And my car will be loaded with stuff too. So, I mean, I'm loading the whole thing up. But the whole studio, the materials are purchased and waiting for me that once I'm there, I'm building my new desk when I get into the new place.
What are you building it out of?
2x4s and some, I'm actually going to use cherry for my desktops.
Okay. We'll see pictures when it's done.
Oh yeah, I'm building this massive corner unit. And the way I'm building it is the shelving in it is actually going to be set to house all of the computers for the studio. And then I'm going to have a piece of plexiglass that comes down.
Mm-hmm.
The board is going to be inside that plexiglass and sunk in on its own shelf where the plexiglass will close over the board. And then I could use it as an actual desktop. So yeah, this is taking a lot of thought and a lot of design. And once I've got it built and put in place, then I'll house all the computers and everything will be built into the desk. And it'll be a lot cleaner setup than what I've got here, which, Tyler, you've seen what I've got here.
Uh-huh.
You want to try to decipher this nightmare?
No.
But once I'm all hooked back in and everything down there, then, of course, I'll take everything back over. With the exception of what I'm looking to do to expand Mayhem Network. And what I'm planning on doing there is I want to add a ghost hunting conspiracy theory show.
Ghost hunting, aliens, conspiracy theories, that kind of stuff.
And Tyler's firm belief in Bigfoot.
I don't really believe in Bigfoot. That's the one I do draw the line with.
And then I'm also going to add a wrestling and racing review that's going to be hosted by 420.
I'm just going to say this. Sage is going to be on the air a lot.
Sage likes it, though.
I get he likes it. Nothing wrong with that. I like it too. But sometimes I just want to go, whew, okay.
Well, and that's where we've all got to be able to sit back and say, I need a break.
Yep.
And you got to have your backups. Now, with 420s, because I'm not too sure where he's at with being able to host, either Tyler or I'll probably produce it for a while.
He's also got to get his own equipment too.
He does. And I'm really thinking about filling in another gap with a return of Sage Nanigans.
You're going to bring back Sage and Nanigans to the network?
I'm thinking so.
So,
I mean, I'm really thinking about expanding this once I'm in Texas. But it's got to be done by the numbers. Like, I've got to get down there and get myself set up and get moving again. And then my eventual goal, to be perfectly honest with you guys, is I still have my screenplay that I'm about a third of the way through, and I really haven't had the chance this year to focus on it like I wanted to. I've got my treatment done. But I've got to go back and really get at least a week where I could sit down and I'm in there and I'm typing it.
Yeah.
And I want to finish that first one and just see what happens with it. I'm going to have multiple visitors coming down starting probably March. I know Sage is planning on flying down February, March. Doran, very good friend of mine, she's talking about flying down maybe March, April. My friend Don is going to be coming down to bring me my truck.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things that are still going to be going on over the course of the first 6 months of me being there that I'm still handling different stuff from back up here. And then I've got to come back up in June if everything goes well to get my son and bring him down. So I've got some time with him. And then he'll be there for 2 months. And of course, I got to make time for my girlfriend, and I've got, and it'll be a lot easier for me to make time for my other girlfriend, also known as my motorcycle.
Well, yeah, so you ain't got to worry about that cold weather anymore.
Oh, man, it'll be cold. It's cold down there right now. It's 49.
I don't want to hear it. It's 23 here.
I'm looking at it. I see it. I'm looking at it right here on the computer monitor.
It's 23 and sucks.
But I do fully intend to take a picture of the weather one morning before I go to work in February. Once I'm in the apartment and I've got it settled in and I'm there, I'm going to take a picture of the weather on my TV at about 2 a.m, and I'm going to send it to Tyler and go, it is freaking cold.
And I'm going to just...
And then he'll get up in the morning and see that and go, oh, you suck. But no, we've discussed it a little bit, but I guess I've never really gone into full detail. Like, I have I ever showed you guys the layout of the apartment I'm getting?
I think you showed us a couple weeks ago, actually.
May have been a while. So let's get the layout up here. All right, so it'll be able to zoom in, I'm hoping, so you got a good view of it. And I'm going to go back to the other screen so I can talk about it a little.
Okay.
All right, so this is the apartment.
Uh-huh.
This is where I'm going to initially be living. All right? There's my front porch. That's the door into the apartment from the front porch in the parking lot. Okay?
All right.
Utility room. So that's hot water heater, right?
Uh-huh.
My son's bedroom with his closet.
Okay.
Okay? His bathroom with his own bathtub, toilet, and sink. Okay?
All right.
laundry room, so my washer and dryer will be needed there, and a linen closet. All right?
It's not a bad layout. How much a month?
$871 a month. 930 square foot. Living room and dining room as one big room, and my kitchen with a pantry. Look at all of this counter space on this kitchen.
Yeah.
This is insane, man. I will be in seventh heaven. And look, it's got the look-through dishwasher, sinks, stove, oven, fridge. And it's got the look-through, so while I'm over here cooking, I can still look out and talk to people.
Yep.
Which I love that.
Where are we putting the pool table?
Then here's my bedroom with its own linen closet, my bathroom, sink, toilet, big bathtub, and my walk-in closet.
Oh, Susan's always wanted a walk-in closet.
Okay, so now what I have not decided yet is I don't know if my studio equipment is going to go in this corner here, right off of the patio,
Uh-huh.
or is it going to go in this corner over here by the bathroom?
I'd say put it where the patio is behind you, so that way people can see the view.
Well, if I'm going to do that, then the corner would be here where the window is at.
Yeah.
Okay. But then I've got my patio out here, and then the storage for the patio, which will have my grill and my smoker in it, and everything I need for cooking.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to buy and put in a nice patio set. Of course, my recliners will be in the living room, and a sofa probably right about here with my TV hanging on the wall right there by Riley's room. My other thought was I would set it up in the dining room, but I'm probably going to put in table and chairs and everything in the dining room.
Put the pool table in the dining room.
I'm not getting a pool table for
Why
this.
not?
All right, so you get the idea of what I'm going to have for my house or my apartment.
Yep.
Garbage disposal, dishwasher, ceiling fans, mini blinds, personal patio, fridge with ice maker. I haven't had one of them in years. Secured storage, self-cleaning oven, washer dryer connections, which is why my washer and dryer have to go. Okay. And then there is the community pool.
Okay.
Some of the amenities that they have. On-site gym. This is a view of one of the kitchens in one of the smaller apartments.
It's a pretty small kitchen. It's like the kitchen at my old apartment.
Yeah, but the bigger apartments have the bigger kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, I can
And of course,
understand that,
like I said, my son will love this. He'll love the pool. So you get the idea of what I'm looking at.
Right.
Sue says not her. She don't want to walk in. It's got to be you.
No, she wants the walk-in closet. I don't know what she's talking about there.
You mean the lock-in closet? Lock you in it?
Probably. I don't know.
But you get the idea. I mean, that's what I'm looking at in Texas. Now, there are some differences as well when you move state to state that you have to realize that you're getting into.
Right.
One of the biggest differences that I am going to be contending with is no longer paying state income tax.
Yep.
I will see at the end of every month more of my paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a big bonus there that's moving in my favor.
But don't you also pay more at the end of the year?
No.
Wait, you don't? So you don't pay more on your taxes, your tax returns?
No.
There's no. Wow. Okay.
There is no income tax in the state of Texas. Period. I have to file federal.
Okay. No, I said no. You didn't show us pictures. Oh, she said you didn't. She hasn't seen the pictures. That's
Oh, I hadn't seen the floor plan of the place. Okay. So no, there is no state income tax in Texas. I just file federal, and I'm done. Okay,
Okay.
so I keep more of my money.
Again, another better location than Illinois, that's for sure.
So, do you really think it was smart for you to buy that house?
Yep. Because I'm going to be the last man standing in Illinois.
No, you won't.
The way we're going, shit.
No, you won't. Lori Lightfoot would never allow that to happen.
She gonna die.
Really?
She probably will. She'll probably.
Are you sure about that?
Don't play the Lightfoot commercial. You played that too much. She'll end up driving and end up crashing her car because she went cross-eyed.
No, because she says she delivers.
She's gonna fucking.
Yeah.
She is going to. I'm gonna be the last one here in Illinois. End of story.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I am.
Pritzker.
He gonna die of diabetes any day now.
Hey, he's gonna move in with you.
No. Where's Sage?
Fat 420.
Oh, he's going to Mexico. Yeah, see, Sue says she wants there's going to be Spangler and cockroaches. What's Spangler?
Well, Egon?
I guess.
That's Becky talking about herself.
Dude,
She's
if I'm
gonna be
stuck
here.
in Illinois with the ghost of Egon Spangler, by all means,
No such
that'll
thing
be
as
a
ghost.
heck of a go. Oh, you shut up.
All right, so that's some of the differences I'm looking at. Now, here's the amazing side that nobody's really grabbed a hold of yet. I want you to look at we'll use Texas and Illinois as a great comparison. I want you to look at the comparison right now financially.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Texas. All right. What is gas currently in Illinois?
Well, I just left the gas station. It said it was $2.92. That's the highest. That's in Jacksonville. I don't know about the rest of the state, but Jacksonville is $2.92.
Okay. So let's see. Current gas prices in Kingsland, Texas.
I'm going to say for Texas, I'm going to say Kingsland, Texas. I'm going to guess 221.
I'm waiting for it to load up.
Hey, chat room, get involved. What do you think the price is going to be in Texas? Like I just said, like for example, 420 says it's still 350 in his area. That's up in Pekin. I'm saying it's 292 here in Jacksonville. What do you think it's going to be? What is it in your area, and what do you predict it's going to be in Texas?
Okay, I finally got it. This is not the place I usually go. It's usually about 25 cents higher.
Okay.
But I finally got it. Okay, Kingsland, Texas. At Valero in Kingsland, Texas right now is $2.55 a gallon.
I was going to let the chat room get involved, but okay.
All right. 420 saying it's still about $3.50. It's still about $3.80 in Manitou. I did see it lower in Springfield the other day. 420 says $2.25. No, you're right around $2.50. $2.40, $2.50 is what you're paying in Texas. So it's close.
Yeah.
Okay. Pack of cigarettes.
Oh, there's no comparison here. We all know who's cheaper.
No, we know who's cheaper, but let's use the comparison. Pack of cigarettes.
They're about $10.32 here in Illinois.
Currently in Texas is $8.23. Pound of beef.
Okay, pound of beef here in Illinois because I just bought some for Christmas. About, let's see, I paid $6.76 per pound. Granted, this was not, Walmart generic beef. This was beef from a butcher, but that's about the average, I would say. It's about $6.
Currently in Texas, that is a little higher.
The beef's a little higher in Texas?
The beef is a little higher right now in Texas. Currently $6.96 a pound.
Okay.
That's retail beef.
All right.
Or wait a minute, hang on. Yeah, North Texas. That's North Texas E-News.
Okay. Let's see.
Rosenthal Meat Science and Technology Center is saying $3.69 a pound for sides, $3.89 a pound hindquarter, $3.39 a pound forequarter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, beef is a little higher right now.
Well, I think that's mostly because beef is also. Oh, there we go. There's a good one. Dozen eggs in Texas. Okay. Dozen eggs here in Illinois. We pay about $1.82. I think Sue's watching. She would know how much we pay for eggs, but I want to say it's about $1.82.
Currently, the price of a dozen eggs in Texas is $1.93 a dozen.
Oh, so about the same mostly. What about milk?
That's where I was going next.
Milk has to be lower, I would say.
Yeah, $3.50 a dozen for eggs in Illinois. I'm looking at $1.99.
Well, see now. Wait a minute. Are you Becky and 420 are saying it's $4? I'm talking about the Aldi's brand eggs, with just a single carton. Milk's $4.29 according to 420 here in Illinois,
and in Texas it's $3.48.
So there you go. There's already almost right there $1 difference.
Correct. So literally, all right. Now let's look at that. I'm doing this for a reason. I'm trying to give you the comparative study here. Yes, I'm going to pay more for a place to live. We have determined that with how much I'm paying for rent.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay. No state income tax. No grocery tax. I am paying less for my food, for everything that I'm going to be utilizing. I know for a fact my power bill will be less. My internet will be less. My car insurance will be less in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting taxed out the nose.
Yeah, because another thing, too, is you're dropping all the ridiculous taxes here in Illinois.
Now, I am paying a ridiculous tax on cigarettes. I am paying a ridiculous tax on alcohol. And I am paying a restaurant tax.
Yeah.
So, and I do like to eat out quite a bit. License plates are $76 a year.
License plates are $76 a year?
Yes.
In Texas. They're still like almost 150 here.
Yep.
And it doesn't go to the roads. I don't care who you are. These taxes don't go to nothing.
So I want you to consider that for a second and really look at that. Comparing the blue state to the red state. Now, are there things that they harp about that I disagree with? Yes, there are. You're going to run into that anywhere. The flip side of the coin is at the end of the day, I'm living in a place that is warmer year-round, where you guys will be enjoying the summer. I will be inside under the air conditioner going, run, run. Because it is hot down there in the summertime.
I don't care. It's colder than hell here. I like hot. I want to.
I do like the heat. I prefer the heat. Yes.
I want to step outside and instantly sweat.
But I'll have my patio set up under the shade. I could get up in the morning before I go to work and get the smoker going, get it running.
Now, are fireworks legal in Texas?
Yes.
Good.
Fireworks stands open up in March.
Yeah.
And they close down in August, if I remember right.
I love blowing stuff up.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not sending you fireworks.
Oh, come on.
No. You're going to have to find a way to Texas.
I'll go to Missouri.
That's what I thought you would do.
Yeah, it costs too much to drive to Texas.
That's right.
Screw
and you will still be under Illinois taxes and license plates and everything else. So is it really affordable for you to make a trip to Texas just to get fireworks?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, there are some small stands down there that are open year round. Matter of fact, I think there's one that's right off of Park Road 4 and Route 29, and I might actually go see if they're open when I get there. Of course, as I'm on the way in, whatever I'm driving somehow melds with me. And when I get into the area, it realizes that I'm home. And it instantly turns into the parking lot at Reverend Jim's. And that vehicle shuts down and it stalls in that parking lot.
No.
And it forces me to go inside and have a beer.
No. We know where you're going to be. Pootie's.
No, Pootie's is after I do my road test on the 4th and I get some stuff unloaded. The 5th, I'm returning the moving truck. Because I've got stuff I got to get done there. So I've got to go into Austin on the 5th. I've got a bunch of crap to do there, turn in the moving truck, fill it back up with fuel. The 4th, I've got my road test for the new job. I've got online modules I've got to take after that. I should be starting the 2nd week of January at the new job. And then the first priority is get the apartment taken care of, go look at it, make sure I've got the one I want. We're going to work everything out. And I put my security deposit, my first month's rent down, and I start moving in. I turn on my power and everything, and there you go.
And that's going to be about a month.
And then I'll be in there with internet on and getting everything set up.
Mm-hmm.
And finishing up my desk and getting it set up in there so I can actually broadcast from there.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and say it's going to be about a month until you're back on the air, give or take.
Probably. It'll probably be about a month, maybe 6 weeks.
That's what I would say, yeah.
It's going to be a little time, yeah. But then as I'm living there, everybody will see me progress over my time of living there and how everything will gradually fall into place. I mean, I will probably do a live broadcast from the phone and check in once I'm in the apartment and let everybody see like Riley's room, the bathroom, my living room, the dining room, blah, 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 and go through the entire apartment and then probably just sit out on my back patio after that and broadcast and smoke cigarettes and watch Captain Kangaroo and listen to Tyler try to host.
What the heck is Captain Kangaroos? Oh, you're going to listen to that. I know a podcast you listen to.
Listen to Tyler try to host. I'm just going to sit back and I'll be sitting back during that show and just taking notes.
Yeah, well, why the heck would you listen to Captain Kangaroo?
You are a millennial.
No, why would you listen to? I know who you're talking
Smoking
about.
cigarettes and watching Captain Kangaroo. You don't remember the song?
No, what song was that?
Oh my god!
What song was that? Come on,
Becky, hit him. When you see, okay, so we do have another thing to discuss tonight that is off news topic. And I know we've gotten way off a news topic tonight, which is kind of nice.
Well, it's the end of the year. It's
It is the end of the year. We've got a lot of things that are wrapping up. It's going to blow up after the first. So you guys are going to have to be on your toes with that when you come back after the new year.
I might run this by you later. I might bring in a third co-host to fill the spot in while you're gone. And
we'll discuss it.
Okay, we'll discuss it.
Okay, so we have been discussing a potential get-together. Now, I'm not calling this a meet and greet. I'm not calling it a function. I'm not going and trying to get anything for it. I'm calling this a get-together. What?
I was going to say, can we just call it a food orgy? That's not a cuss word.
You earned this.
What?
You earned it.
That's not a cuss word.
You earned it.
That's not a cuss word.
You cannot blame me for this. You earned it.
What'd I do?
You just wait. You've earned it. You have earned this.
If you play that Lori Lightfoot commercial, that wasn't a cuss word anyways.
You have earned this.
How did I earn it?
Batman TV show.
What about Batman?
Called out and he sent out the distress signal to Batman. So we are doing something similar for the census. And I'm happy to report I'm calling out the census cowboy.
She called 420?
You earned it. You earned it.
Calling himself the census cowboy lately.
You had to get the census cowboy involved.
She crazy.
Dude, that ugly green cowboy hat she put on for that too. My God.
Well,
all right.
No one ever says
we are working. I want the listeners to chime in. We're working on a day. Now, Carla has already said that I was looking at Wednesday the 28th. She said she has to work late. Oh, I can't be there.
No. You got to do the voice right. You got to do the voice right.
No, I can't be there.
No. Let me show you. TJ, you hoe, I can't be there.
No. But she says she cannot be there because she's got to work late.
Call in.
Wednesday we have a show anyway. Or wait, no, we don't because we're off that week.
Yeah, we did.
That's the holiday break. So we are off that week.
We do Festivus this Friday and we're done.
That's right. We do Festivus and then we're done for 2020.
I'm going to tell you right now.
2022.
I'm going to be stoned and drunk for Festivus. I thank God
I
do a show.
I want to talk a little bit on Friday about a lot of memorable moments from this year.
Uh-huh.
But I want to get together with as many people as I can before I leave. So I'm looking at either Thursday the 29th or Tuesday the 27th. And I want to get together at a Mexican place that is not going to overtax.
Well, that's not in Illinois.
To Illinois standards, not overtax.
I'll be right back.
But I want to get together where we can all eat, we can have a few drinks, we can have a good time. and I can see as many people as I can in the one spot before I load up and I leave. And it's kind of a hey, we closed out the year. We had a good year for the new shows, for Mayhem itself, but we also I'm going away. I'm leaving the state. I'm going for a better life. And I kind of want to celebrate the life I have had here with the people that mean the most to me, which is obviously the people I broadcast with and as many of the fans as I can get there, and family if they want to show up. But definitely the people I broadcast with, my closest friends, and you fans, you listeners. I mean, I am going to be there whatever we decide. So you guys get with us. Let us know what day works. What time everybody would like to meet. I'd like to do it early evening, about 5:30, right in that area. And let's have a little farewell, but I want to avoid amateur night. Like that amateur. Because do it on a night Carla could be there. Well, that's why I said, so either Tuesday the 27th or Thursday the 29th. April's already said that because of constraints that they've got at their home, there's no way she and Jay could make it.
I've got to see what our money situation is, but hopefully we'll be there.
Well,
I would hope.
You're supposed to have a couple bucks for me tomorrow, so.
Yeah, like I said, our money situation. You're taking our eating money for that night.
Well, my money situation should be sitting a lot better where I might be able to float back.
By the way, tomorrow when you come by, bring the intro for Mayhem.
I got to email that to you because it's in my hard drive.
All right, because if not, I'll have to make my own, and, well, we know you hate that.
Wow, already dissension in the ranks.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can do this. I got this. Let's see. I got this. Oops, timeout.
Hey. Oh, for 5 minutes.
5 minutes. I'm not going to plot. No. I'm not censoring people.
That's wrong.
I'm not going to censor people. I'm just going to put
that is so wrong.
Dissension is not allowed in this army.
All right. And
sorry, Ben. I had to do it.
Dude, I don't even do that crap.
I know. That's the only time I'll do it because I've been experimenting with this.
Just for that, somebody gets to beat you with an adult toy.
Although I will say this. I did have a good idea. We haven't done a fire sale for Mayhem for the past 2 months because of various things that have been going on.
Right.
I might either while you're gone or when you get back, go ahead and hit off a fire sale at some point. And I got a good idea. Here's a little heads up. It's going to involve the duct tape. Where'd he go? I don't know. I guess TJ stepped out or something. So, well, I mean, it's like he said earlier. It's the end of the year. They're all out for the holidays, stuff like that. There's not really much to report on.
Right.
That's why. Oh, that's why he went to go get a cigarette. Okay.
What I have left of one, I've got to dig through all my change to get another pack before I head down to Springfield to go get the truck.
And of course, we had Biden once again today tell a ridiculous tale about giving his uncle a Purple Heart. Biggest serial liar is what they're calling him now. I mean,
we have quite a bit that's actually popped up, but it's all kind of fluff stuff until after the new year. Now, once the new year happens and the new Congress is in place, we're going to see things explode. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be here to report on it.
Yeah.
And I'm the one that stays on top of it more than anybody else.
Well, I mean, surely you could take a little time out, hop on the phone.
I will attempt to, but I can't guarantee anything.
Yeah, because that's another thing, too. Is like, how good's the reception down in Texas?
While I'm staying in the camper, it's not that great, as you well know.
I mean, surely it would be a little better in certain areas.
I mean, I could get decent reception in a lot of places, but a lot of the places I get decent reception, I'm going to be drinking.
Yep.
And there are certain things about when I'm broadcasting that I need my space for it. But the fact is, I want you guys to get with us. Let us know what day will work. We want to meet in Springfield to pull a lot of the travel off of a lot of people. Unfortunately, 420, I mean, his truck barely makes it around the block. I'm not going to ask him to drive to Springfield.
Well,
I'm gonna have to find time to go hang out with him before I leave.
Well, hell, I mean, maybe if we got the money, we can eat the bullet, or the cast members could pull money together and somebody drive up there and get him and drive back.
Well, because I know when I leave, I'm coming straight back here because I'm still going to have a lot of work to get done to prep for the move.
Right.
So that's kind of that's the kicker there, is it's going to be me on the way out. But I want everybody to get with us. Do it through private message. Do it in the chat room. I'm going to bring it up again Friday or Wednesday night when we do Mayhem. And I want everybody to have a say in this. So we can get together. We can have a good time. We could visit. I could see everybody. I know I've met a lot of you, but to be able to see everybody before I leave, say thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. Continue to support the shows while I'm gone. And when I'm back, please, I'm going to say this now, and I will be a little more vulgar with it on Wednesday night, but if you have to rat out Tyler for any reason, let me know.
Well, hell, I can already tell you right now, you're going to get an email from JD, you're going to get an email from 420, you're going to get an email from Roy, Corey, who else? Irene, she'll lie. She'll pull a Biden and lie.
So now you're saying that all of our fans are liars and they're going to lie about anything you do?
No, I didn't say Becky was a liar. I didn't say Jennifer was a liar. And, you're a liar, though, so.
I'm a what?
You're a liar.
I'm a what?
You're a liar. There you go. Have a good trip, TJ. Wait, what photo? What photo is 420 talking about? Show Tyler.
I was going to wait. But evidently we got a picture.
Are you going to post it on here, or are you going to send it in?
Oh, I'm going to show it here, and then I'm going to show it again. Time Magazine. Put
420 back in Time Out again.
Don't you dare.
I won't. I just want to see what.
But Time Magazine voted you Millennial of the Year.
Yeah, you know what, 420? You don't come to the dine-in, to whatever we're calling it. You could starve. How do you do that anyways? You just brought up a second. Oh, is that what this board is for?
No. I haven't had a chance to show you everything yet.
And that's tomorrow.
That's part of tomorrow, yeah. That's why I'm going to go get the truck tonight. And I'm going to get it refueled, and I'm going to head up because I got to load in Chicago.
What is it? Present?
I will show you tomorrow.
Wait, what are you loading up in Chicago?
Cement.
Oh, wow.
And I'm bringing it down to Morton. Yeah, it's a pain.
Dude, you better dress warm. It's supposed to get down to like 16
Dude, I'm taking my
tonight.
Carhartts and my hunting socks.
Take
I'm not screwing
everything.
around.
Take everything. It's good. I mean,
I'm even taking my my Frostbuster gloves. I'm not screwing around with this.
You know what you need? You need one of those battery heated coats.
Dude, once the truck warms up, when I get on the road later and it warms up, that thing will roast me out.
Yeah, so what time do you think about coming down tomorrow? About 2?
As soon as I get it unloaded and I get back to Springfield, I'm heading over there.
Okay, bring spare cables.
I'm taking my bag. My bag is loaded with cleanup stuff and what I'm sleeping in, and that's about it, dude. It's an overnight bag. I'm throwing
spare cables for the board.
Dude, I'm so wrapped up with everything is exploded in this house right now. I have no idea where my spare cables are at this moment.
Oh, crap. Well, I don't know how we're supposed to run this board. I know we'll talk about it tomorrow, but there's...
Look, I'm going to look at everything, and I'm going to tell you what you need, and you could get it on Amazon cheap.
That's just
but I've got to look at it.
I can't even afford cheap right now, but I can try.
Then I will tell you how to route it, and then you can do that when you got the money to do it.
Well, let's see, next week we're off, so next show for Mayhem would be the 4th. So
correct.
We should
you got the time.
Yeah, so.
But no, and you owe me an apology.
Why?
You know I take my integrity very seriously.
I'm sorry for calling you a liar. Is this a power brick?
I will exaggerate. I will BS. I will do a lot of different things, but out and out lie, no.
Well, there it is. Sorry for calling you a liar, TJ. But I am going to be getting mad at 420. I can tell you right now, the shows for the next few weeks is going to be just me and 420 going at it. By the way, I'm going to need a link to Crazy.
Do I need to hire a solution?
You have 2/3. You're right. You kind of do. I am going to need a link for Crazy World News.
Yeah, we're going to work on all that tomorrow when I get there.
All right.
But yeah, this week is the last full week of shows. And then as of Friday, we're on break. I will be personally on break until I got everything set up in the new place. And I'm sitting good to go.
Yes, this is TJ's last news and opinion show for the...
This is my last news and opinion until next year.
No kidding.
And I will be following. And I'll be watching Texas news, too. That'll be even better. God, I can't wait.
Now, I do want to let everybody know before we go any further, I do have swing shift.
Right.
So there may be episodes of news and opinion that there may be weekends where we don't do a show. Okay, because I'll be working overnights. And Sage and I have talked. I'm going to talk to TJ about this later. We may change the day from Sunday to a different day, like Monday or something like that. Which I'll talk to you about that later, TJ.
Right. So in the meantime, everybody, we're going to do this. Tyler, do you have any final thoughts for tonight?
Well, happy, if we don't see between now and then, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, and TJ's going to be leaving here in a few weeks, blaring some Jerry Reed, Texas Bound and a Flying. You know you will.
This has been the final 2022 edition of News and Opinion. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I'm TJ Serletich with Tyler DeWitt. Hope you enjoyed this edition. I'm sorry we didn't get to more news. We ended up talking about more personal stuff. Tyler and Sage will be back in 2 weeks. We go on holiday next week. We will finalize the plans for getting everyone together before I move. And until then, we'll see you on Mayhem Wednesday night. Good night.